Innovation in electric vehicles, how workplaces can appeal to the new generation, and youth's take on online dating. That and more on today's episode.
Want to know what's next? For over 2 decades, we've led the world's most influential brands to create the right products at the right time for tomorrow's consumer. This is WGSN's Client Questions Answered.
Hello and welcome to the show where our experts from around the globe unpack your biggest challenges. I'm Carla Bazzashi, President and CEO at WGSN. Let's dive straight in. Our first question comes from a client asking, what innovation is coming out of the electric vehicle market which taps into consumer needs? A great question. For this, we're heading over to Chloe Gerard, our Head of Tech for Mindset, based in London.
So what's really interesting about what's going to change the future of the automotive industry is actually not so much the electrification of vehicles, but it's really about the development of autonomy. As Level 5 promises us full release of human attention involved in driving, it means that we're able to provide consumers with the promise of giving them back some time. And the question really here is what consumers will want to do with that time. And we know there's a really big industry push towards technology, particularly as brands continue to try to take up space in this area, collaborating with commercial EVs and coming out with really interesting engagement opportunities for in-car systems. For example, there's even one in China today that has a karaoke system that recognizes each individual user within the car. We also see play as being an area for big focus for in-car entertainment, particularly as brands aim to establish their sort of ecosystems of software and services around entertainment. And that may mean that, automotive brands want to partner with entertainment brands or gaming brands for more highly integrated software for gaming and metaverse spaces.
Thanks, Chloe. Great insight there. Head to the Auto Tech section of Consumer Tech to see the category forecast for 2024, plus a key trend report on e-scooter advances. Our next question comes from a client asking, post-pandemic, how can companies be perceived as relevant, innovative, and desirable places to work for this new generation of employees whose relationship to work was completely changed by work from home orders? For this, we're heading to Sao Paulo to hear from Ligia Barros, our Director of WGSN Mindset for LATAM. Over to Ligia.
So companies that want to be a desirable place to work, they must understand the needs of people regarding the new way they're relating to work. So it's necessary to take into account an increasingly digital context, the need for well-being, and to understand that flexibility and inclusion are essential values. So it's crucial to promote mental health on several fronts, and that means also thinking about the workload. It's also crucial to give options regarding an online and an in-person format, fostering connection but also flexibility. And it's also crucial to have a diversity and inclusion policy considering all minorities.
Amazing. Thank you, Ligia. It'll be really interesting to see how the workforce continues to evolve post-pandemic. Our final question for today comes from a client asking, how are youths approaching online dating in 2022? And how can brands create experiences to engage with this group of consumers? Let's hear what Elizabeth Tan, our strategist from the Insight team based in London, has to say.
Youths are emerging from the pandemic with new attitudes and perspective around dating that align with their values, leading them to experiment with romance at a slower pace and in new formats. So to better connect with Gen Z, dating apps are tapping into TikTok and offering opportunities to co-create campaigns that cut through the clutter. So a great example is by this new dating app, Thursday. It has disrupted the marketing space by tapping into consumers' creativity for its campaigns. In April, the app launched a blank London Tube ad, which George Rawlings, its CEO, posted on LinkedIn, asking for copywriters to pitch in their campaign ideas. According to Rawlings, in this current landscape, a brand is no longer what we tell consumers it is what consumers tell each other it is. This is something that brands should keep in mind when trying to capture the Gen Z audience.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for that answer. That's it for this week. If you have any questions or comments you'd like answered, please pop them in the comments box for our team. I'm Carla Bazzashi. I'll see you next time.